Casino Grill Room. Just a little bit more time with Mick Foley, current star in TNA. And I got to ask you about the challenges TNA faces going forward. Once again, in the book, Countdown to Lockdown, you say, despite the addition of huge stars to its roster, TNA as a brand has had trouble gaining any real traction outside of its core audience. I know, it's one of those things
that's
that you
in the
write.
afterword. I had to keep rewriting it because at the beginning it was a little more optimistic, and then we took off, and the Monday Night Wars Part 2 didn't work out that well. I was like, God, I've got to be more realistic. And I tried to add a footnote about how internationally ratings have skyrocketed. Well, escalated greatly, if not skyrocketed, and it was too late. Like, I think the future looks really good, especially internationally. I do think trying to compete on the same night with WWE was a mistake.
Do they have to?
No,
like, honestly.
No. I was when I joined the company, I was saying, look, you might not be able to out-drill Exxon, but you can certainly find
oil somewhere.
Outside energy sources. And I used the baseball scenario, saying you might never be as successful as the Yankees as a franchise, but that doesn't mean that, in this case, the Giants, without the superstars and without the salaries, weren't the best team in baseball. By trying to take them on the same night and trying to play their game, I think we suffered a little bit.
Got to ask you quickly about Kurt Angle.
Yes.
Too sensitive, Mick?
He's the sensitive Olympian. And I on the WrestleMeter, I gave it an 8, and I said it was 8 parts wrestling, 2 parts sadness, because there is something a little bit sad about having the type of drive it takes to be the very best in the world. It's not all glamour.
So do you two get along?
Very well, yeah. I like Kurt enormously. I was terrified of wrestling him, and then once I got that out of my system, it was actually Kurt Angle who gave me my confidence back, because
really?
I had to, through unique circumstances, wrestle Kurt 3 days in a row, and I'm a guy who would wrestle 2 times a year. And all of a sudden, that's 3 days in a row, and it was like on day 3, I was like, wait a second, I don't suck.
Right.
Now I know why I used to be good at this. Like, I really kind of got in the groove. And so I went from being terrified of thinking that every match was going to be a disaster to thinking, like, all right, I'm going to be okay.
He's been in the studio as well, and he is an intimidating dude. A very nice guy, but I mean, physically.
But again, the drive that it takes to be the best in the world at a thankless sport like amateur wrestling is not 100% healthy.
Right. Also in the book, you question whether or not one day you will land in the WWE Hall of Fame. For me, you're a shoo-in. I don't know why you wouldn't be there, so I'm not sure why you're questioning that.
Well, it's questioning whether the gesture be made and whether I would accept it. I'll tell you what, I went in one day from going, I don't know, I've meant a lot to my kids, I guess I would. And then they mentioned my book on their show, which was like...
Which has no affiliation to WWE.
No affiliation. As a matter of fact, it's got the name of a TNA pay-per-view on it, Lockdown.
Yeah.
I am very honest and therefore negative at times towards WWE. And to me, when they mentioned the book, that was the ultimate olive branch, and I would accept the slot.
We got to go. Appreciate you coming in. All the best going forward. Pick up Countdown to Lockdown in bookstores everywhere. Thank you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Ground transportation provided by A Celebrity Limousine. ACelebrityLimousine.com for all occasions.